There's a chicken restaurant above my bookstore that I think does in the neighborhood of $1 million in sales a month.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Chicken is clever as shit
Yeah.
because chicken got itself positioned as a healthier protein.
Yep.
But the way that it is served in these fast food capacities in these
not,
restaurants has got no redeeming quality, or very little redeeming quality as a protein, but people will still eat it, even in their variations, because it's a healthier protein.
What's up, Ryan?
Not a lot, man. I did learn a couple cool, interesting Kentucky facts. I don't even know. I can't remember what I was watching or what, but they popped up and I thought they were interesting. But
Okay.
did you know the birthday song was written by two sisters in Kentucky?
I think I did know that somewhere in the dark annexes of my brain. I think I did know that. I can't remember who they are, the circumstances around it. I think probably I read the same trivial fact somewhere in the history of my brain, but I would have not been able to have recalled that had you not said it out loud again. But it's a pretty neat thing. Happy birthday is to the tune of what? Or what is there's something else that's to the same tune as happy birthday.
The same thing.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is. I don't know. Oh, what other interesting tidbits did you cough up?
Well, I figure if you knew that one, then you probably know that Maysville used to be considered the toy capital of the world.
Did not know that.
I thought that was really interesting. I guess apparently they had a lot of like toys at one point that were coming out of that particular area, and then it was almost like a, I guess like the industrial booms and those kind of things. For whatever reason, it ran its course and then it was done.
That's something I should know.
I thought that one was interesting, but I can't remember. Like I said, I'm not real sure where I saw that at, but I thought those two were interesting.
Yeah, Maysville's home, still currently home to some miniature collection, dollhouse and thing. Well, isn't that neat? That's some shit I didn't know. I would have, if you'd have asked me where in Kentucky, I would have thought toys would have came from. I would have said somewhere up around Cincinnati, Covington, or somewhere like that. Because Kenner, which was responsible for all the cool toys from when we were kids, was based in Cincinnati. And that's why all the cool fucking Holy Grail toys show up in the Cincinnati area now. You know, because employees stole shit. Franklin, leave Ryan alone. He doesn't need help today. Anyway, all the cool toys and shit show up at stupid flea markets and yard sales in Cincinnati. So once a year,
I'll get to go up there for one of those, or a couple trips just in case.
You got to go cruise around. There's a couple really good flea markets in the Cincinnati area too, so we'll go up there and hit stuff. Man, I know 2 action figures were bought at I think it's called Trader's World in Cincinnati. God, it's been 6-7 years ago. It was 2, and they were prototype Star Wars figures that actually never got made.
Yeah,
and they were sold at that flea market for $quarter a piece, and a friend of mine paid 6 figures for them. It's just It's so fucking cool when something like that just turns up and, you know, it's not supposed to exist or something. And what it was, something that was supposed to get thrown away. And your aunt said, I'll just take that home to my little nephew and he'll play with it instead of throwing it in the dumpster today. And
40, 50 years
toy
later,
history, 40 years later pops up at a flea market, and it's toy Holy Grail shit.
Somebody found it in an attic and probably has no clue what they got, do they?
A lot of times, no.
Yeah.
Every now and then somebody will pop up with something. But man, in Cincinnati, there's a few really heavy hitter toy buyers in that area, and they advertise pretty heavily. If you go to any of the antiques or flea markets, they'll have signs up around the place that say, I will pay your mortgage off they'll say, were you a former Kenner employee? Let me pay your mortgage off. Call me if you have prototypes or old pre-production material or whatever. There was a Boba Fett figure that when Boba Fett first came out, he had a rocket that shot out of his back, and then it was deemed a choking hazard, so it never got put into production. And the story was that they took all the ones that they'd made and laid them out in the warehouse floor and just drove over them with forklifts and shit and thoroughly broke them up and destroyed them and put them in the dumpster. But once a year, one of them turns up somewhere.
So I say, yeah, somebody's like, I see what this could be.
Yeah.
Or even if it's not, it'll be cool.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
Hold on, let me tell you what the last one brought. They bring serious money. One walked into my store one day, but the guy wouldn't even speak to me about selling it to me. He said, I wanted to bring it to you and show you. My aunt worked at Kenner. And he said, please don't make me an offer. I don't want to discuss selling it. And I don't want to have to live with the...
It's almost like some of those Pawn Star type things.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever watched any of those, people would walk in with stuff and it's like, oh, if you want to pay me $10 million and this is worth, $500,000.
Yeah, then we'll talk. Yeah, but pretty much
it's not for sale.
It's not for sale. Not for sale is a phrase that I hate, but every now and then I don't know if I own anything that's not for sale. Maybe my dogs. Yeah. Past that, I don't use that phrase very often.
Right number
for the right number.
Well, that goes back to all of our previous conversations about the fact that, everything that you have, you got some stuff that you like more than others, maybe, but for the most part,
it's inventory.
Yeah,
it is what it is. So, let me tell you my most recent news. Yesterday, like 4 weeks ago, I went to the doctor, and I don't go to the doctor very often, but like 4 weeks ago, I went, and she told me I needed to do yearly blood work. And I was supposed to go in the next day and do it, and I waited 4 weeks. But anyway, my follow-up appointment is next week, so I went yesterday to actually do the blood work. Got my results last night. Evidently, I'm fat. And as my grandma says, I got the sugars.
So you got the diabetes.
You got the diabetes. Wilford Brimley. Yeah. My glucose was high, my triglycerides were high, and my cholesterol was high. And those are all things that the sugar thing I kind of knew about. But the triglycerides and cholesterol, those are new to me. That's
getting into your heart, big guy.
Yeah, I know. That's some shit. So that'll make you think about stuff. So I don't know what to do with that information. They send you the test results too, with no real context. Just your shit's high.
Yeah.
Not hey, this is high enough to kill you, or this is nothing really to worry about, or whatever. But I guess that's why I got to go back to the doctor in 2 weeks and let her tell me that. So I was thinking last night, I guess, about my own mortality a little bit. I don't know. That shit'll make you think a little bit. I was also thinking this morning how pissed off I was at you because you're still pretty much the same weight and build as you were in college in 1995.
Yep.
And we were both tall and thin when we were in college. Hell, I was 140 pounds when I graduated high school.
Yep.
I looked like a chemotherapy patient, and absolutely no weight. But about 30 years old, it caught my ass.
It got you.
It got me. I woke up one morning and went, fuck, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But so how do you keep your girlish figure, Ryan? Do you do anything, or is it just good genes?
Majority of it's good genes. Yeah. I'll be honest there. But the other side of that is I'm not somebody that follows a diet, very regimented about what I eat and those kind of things. What I am is aware. So just from the standpoint that like, okay, I'm not going to eat a hamburger every single day, cheeseburger and fries and that kind of stuff. I severely cut back on fast food and soda. Probably 10, 15 years ago. Now, I'll still drink a soda. It's not like I don't drink stuff like that, but it used to be I drink coffee from about 9 in the morning till 11:30 noonish.
I'm not sure that's any better.
And then coffee it depends on how you drink it.
Oh, do you drink, you're one of them savages that drinks it black?
No, I drink I drink the same thing just about every morning, which is more or less a chocolate kind of infused a little bit with a almond milk, and then
that's very pretentious, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I will drink that usually, and then one of the things I have done is I've switched to just about every day for lunch. I usually have a protein shake, and then I usually eat 2 other times throughout the day, like an actual meal. But I'm mindful. I'm very much try to make sure I have vegetables in just about every meal.
If you had asked me this...
But I'm not anal about it. I am just aware. And, it's not like I may go 2 or 3 days and I eat a shit ton of fast food just because life has kind of put you in that position for that minute. But I will be mindful about what I choose whenever I do that.
Do you even keep an eye on it enough to know, does your weight fluctuate 5 or 10 pounds up and down, or are you pretty steady? One of these people that's
it will fluctuate. What made me go to that mindfulness was probably 8 years ago or something like that. I was on a vacation, and I don't know why in the hell they did, but they had a scale in there. I stepped on the scale, and I was at like I think I was at 202.
Yeah.
I've never even been anywhere near that. And I was like, fuck that. Okay. now I know. After that, I pretty much am always, if I step on the scale, I can keep myself between 175 and 182, 183. And if I get above that, then I know, okay, now I need to start paying a little more attention. If I'm below that, is pretty rare, but that's like if I really start walking and trying to be mindful, it can drop below that. But it's never going below like 165. And so to go back to what you were talking about, whenever I graduated high school, I was probably in the 150-ish ballpark.
Yeah, I think we were.
And I was way too skinny. Got up to about the 165-ish as, you just do, as your body gets more muscle and you get away from high school. And yeah, I've pretty much ridden that. And I think, like you said, the majority of is just good genes, but it could get away from me.
Yeah, my dad's right there with you, but of course he's in his 70s now, but he probably fluctuates between 160 and 175 or something like that any given day of the week. Man, I haven't seen under 200 in a long time. And I was aware. I got on the scales today. I went back to the doctor, a whole other conversation today. I went this morning at 256. And that's probably the heaviest I've ever been in my life, which explains all the other shit, And my blood pressure was high enough where they didn't want me to leave, So it's all that shit.
That
catches
shit's
up
scary
to you.
because that just happened to my dad. Went in for something and they're like, "Oh, you're going straight to the ER," or stay back to see a doctor because of where his blood pressure's at. And that freaks you out as a kid. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know. So I've been thinking a lot about it over the last 24 hours or so, and I don't know what to do really without drastic lifestyle change. And I'm going to be honest, that's probably not in the cards for me.
Yeah, I will tell you what has helped me, because probably about 6 months or a year ago, I decided I was going to do better about what I ate.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to be ridiculous, but I was going to be like, okay, if I at least am aware and I do this 4, 5, 6 days a week, for the most part, I'll get better and I'll see these incremental things that I wanted to see. And I started putting it into my calendar. I had somebody helping me hold me accountable. I talked to Dixie, and so we started cooking more and, doing stuff at home and controlling some of that. But it is, though. It's going to be, but the thing is if you don't, the alternative's fucking really bad. You have to do something.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing for me. I have a lot of willpower when I set my mind to something, but I have to make up my decision to do it. I have to make up my mind to do it.
Me sitting here, your
quitting
parents
smoking,
say it to anybody.
And I don't know if I'm...
You're not going to do it till you decide to do it. I mean, that's just the reality of human nature.
I'm just like a drunk right now. I enjoy drinking,
Yeah.
Luckily I have managed to kill that part pretty much lately, but I live my life via Wendy's and McDonald's, so it's eventually I probably am going to wake up and go, well, it's time to change this shit, or heart attack will catch me or something. But I don't know. It's
one suggestion I would give you, because you had said that you were living by the spreadsheet, you moved that to a calendar.
Yeah.
And you said, for the most part, you're looking at that calendar, you're following it, and shit gets moved around. Mm-hmm. Incorporate shit into your calendar that at least makes you aware. And then you're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do until you decide you're not going to do it, right? But at least start planting that seed. And eventually, at some point, you're going to go, you know what? I hadn't done any shit about that for a month.
Yeah.
Or 6 months or whatever it is. And then you're going to, or what's going to happen is you're going to see that one day and you're like, fuck, I really want a Wendy's burger, but I'm going to go get a chicken wrap, or whatever it is.
So it's con month for me. I looked at it the last couple of days. It was 21 or as of right now, it's 19 nights away from the con will be over. So about this point in the month, I'll start saying to myself, 2 days ago, I said, it's 21 days from now.
I saw your post, 25 sleeps.
Yeah. 21 days from now. I can do anything for 21 days.
Yeah.
So I wonder if I
pair the two.
And quite honestly, for the next 21 days, most of my meals will be scheduled or structured because it'll be, I'm going to do this from this time to this time and I'll eat in this window. So I probably could try to put that in there.
And the beautiful thing is you've got kind of a little bit of a team that we've talked about that a lot, that are kind of helping control things and keeping you in line and that kind of stuff. And maybe they help.
Katie that works for me, she's at times in her life, she's kind of a gym rat, and she'll go through long periods of times where she's meal prepping every day. Yeah. And I've talked about that for myself a lot, but I think I would just eat it and then I'd go to the fridge and get another one, and I'd go to the fridge and get another one or whatever. But, man, sometimes she brings food in and sticks it in the microwave for 30 seconds and go, man, that smells great. Like, I'll trade you for my fucking milkshake here, or whatever. So, there's a chance I might be able to pay her to meal prep for me for the next little bit. I don't know. That seems like a big...
I would just say the only thing, like I said, I'd just go back to start, at least for now, because, in all honesty, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and go, okay, now I'm going to eat and do all this shit. I'm going to That's not reality.
I'll probably go let my doctor scare me.
Yeah, and then just start putting yourself in a position to be aware, and then just do whatever you're going to do, and hopefully you'll get to the point where you're like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought. I tested a day here and there, and...
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting, man.
All right, I'll lead into this, and I'll take the first question. I'm going to preface this with I've been really up in the air on whether I wanted to talk about this on the podcast or not, because people will read too much into it, or the 11 people that listen to this will read too much into it, and they'll call me and say, oh, what's going on, or whatever. So I went to the doctor this morning. I got to start with this story to work myself to the question. I went to a urologist this morning. Number one, I've never been to a urologist, and number two, they herd them through there like cattle, man. It was like, whew. Yeah. Walking, I hardly ever quit walking from the time I hit the door till the time I was back in the parking lot. But I went to a urologist this morning about a consult for a possible vasectomy. I can't say it out loud. And I don't even know why, but I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I'm 50. Both of my kids are now 20 plus. Yeah. I just don't want any more kids in my life. And I feel like a lot of times I overthink, I guess, getting out in the social scene or whatever, because I'm in such a comfortable place. I don't want to risk fucking that up a lot. Yeah. And I don't even have a legitimate girlfriend right now or anything. So it's nothing like that. It's just I have thought about it several times in my later life, and I went for a consultation today. And that was definitely an experience, I guess. They talked to you about it. First and foremost, did you know that a vasectomy is only $1,200? Yeah. Like, cash out. If your insurance doesn't pay a single fucking dime, it's only $1,200. And I'd have bet you $100 you couldn't get your fucking fingernails painted for that $1,200 in that building. Yeah. It shocked me how cheap it was, because I thought when she said it'll be about $1,200, I thought, is that $1,200 after you bill my insurance? And she said, no, it's $1,200, just $1,200. Yeah. And I think my ex-wife was probably paying Lord knows what a month for birth control for a long time. Yep. So women really do get the raw end of the fucking medical deal there. I don't know what a fucking getting their tubes tied costs or whatever, but it's more than $1,200 fucking dollars. Yeah. Number two, this is the most embarrassing thing to talk about in the world, but we're gonna lay it out. We're gonna lay it all out and measure it and
see where it goes.
Flip it over, see if it's sunburned. So when I was 18 or 19 years old, I don't remember if I discovered it or if one of my girlfriends discovered it. I have a little cyst in my nuts. Really? Okay. And I have jokingly my entire life called that my third nut or whatever. And I've never in my life been to a urologist.
So you've never had it checked?
Never in my life.
It could be just cancer.
You're right. And I telling this guy about it, and he said, well, the good news is if it was anything, you'd be dead. So the bad news is don't fucking wait the next time something like that comes up or whatever. And well, he wasn't bothering me. I wasn't bothering him.
We were in good shape.
We're buddies, you know, shit. A little something extra.
It's still delivered.
Yeah.
I'd have come seen you if he stopped.
Yeah, a little something extra, you know. Anyway, that's a thing. And, of course, this other man in the room with me wants to check that out.
Yeah, he does.
And that was pretty off-putting, you know. But either way, in the end, he said, oh, nothing to worry about. I see that all the time. And a vasectomy is $1,200, and I have not decided if that's something I want to go through with. So getting to the question part, have you ever considered that? Have you done it? What's your take on the possibility of Ryan being a dad again at 50? You're 51 now, right?
Yeah, I had a vasectomy 20 years,
did? Okay.
20 years
well,
ago.
Fuck. All right. I should have talked to you about this beforehand.
I had a vasectomy with right after Tristan.
Yeah.
So 20 years ago.
You okay with that decision today?
Oh, 100%.
100%?
Yeah,
okay.
100% think it was the best decision I could have made. Obviously, like any dude, I was scared out of my fucking mind to go in there.
I'm pretty fucking anxious about it. And that's the thing that'll keep me from doing it. Like, or maybe it'll keep me from doing it. I don't know.
Yeah. I was scared to death, but I was more scared about the possibility of having, more kids.
Yeah. So that's what I was like, $1,200 versus what 18. I'd have to do the math on what the 18 years for both my kids cost. It's
I will tell you
seems
that
like a deal.
It was not anywhere near as bad as I thought it was. Matter of fact, I was shocked at how routine I felt like it was. So the worst part, which obviously ended up kind of being funny in the moment because you get some local, is just the fact that, they come in there, you're very much like a woman. They put you up in stirrups and you have 2 or 3 people that come in there.
You're like, well, this is fun.
And you're like, well, there you go, guys. Y'all do what you got to do.
Can we film this for content?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Afterwards was, I kind of, you're kind of drugged enough to where you don't really, you have to have somebody take you and bring you back. Yeah. And then there was probably like a day or 2 of just uncomfortableness where you're putting, your bag of frozen peas and you're laying around doing nothing. Yeah. And literally within 3 days, I mean, they tell you not to lift weight, lift anything and shit like that. But I think within 3 days, 2-3 days, I was like, all right, let's, kind of life back to normal. And it was not bad at all. Like even that night afterwards or that evening after, I went back home and I was like, oh God, I'm uncomfortable. You had a procedure, but I'm like, okay, why did it take that long? Yeah.
So on the flip side of that coin, and I love hearing this because this is another good story. A guy that works for me had one, I don't know, 3 months ago or 4, and he exactly said what you did. But I also have another friend who had one 2 years ago, had all sorts of fucking complications. Had his nutsack about the size of a cantaloupe for a while and swollen and fucked up. And today he is still very fertile.
Really?
Yeah, so he went through it all and it did not work or didn't take, I guess.
I don't understand.
The doctor today told me that was a risk. He said some people, we cut it, and then during the healing process, it grows back together.
Back? Really? Yeah. See, mine was cut, and they burned both ends or something to that effect.
Yeah, just that conversation fucking...
Yeah. But like I said, you have no clue.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey...
He said, I'll give you a Valium to take before you come in. Okay.
Exactly what I did. Took a Valium, so by the time I got in there and all 3 or 4 people, I'm like, look
at my dick. Look at my dick. Those people see you at your worst, though, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gosh, I don't know. It was such a strange conversation.
We've had a rough couple days, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I found out I got the sugars. I had another man fondle my nuts.
Blood pressure's out of whack.
It's all fucked up. I don't know what I'm gonna do. When I went in there this morning, this will make you feel really good when this happens too. They checked my blood pressure once, and she went, "Oh, we better check that again." So they checked it again. She went, I'm not allowed to put that in the computer without
admitting
without escalating the situation. She said, let me go get a manual cuff. So she goes and gets a manual cuff, and she checks it in her ears where there's no fucking accountability, and she says, oh, no, you're fine. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
I'm more comfortable with I may have to be admitted because I don't want to go home and die.
Yeah. But so I wonder how many times a day they do that shit, because hospital protocols probably now got it to where if it's anything even slightly high.
Yeah, they definitely have ground, because the thing is, then they open themselves up if they let you out of there, and you're like, well, his blood pressure was a little elevated, but wasn't too bad, and they let you in and you die in the parking lot.
Nobody ever wants to be on the witness stand saying, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. He failed it twice with the electronic, but I got him through on the manual.
Yeah, it's kind of like a loan situation, or well, the computer keeps kicking it out, but we're going to push it through manually.
Yeah, we're putting through manual underwriting.
Yeah. Speaking of, we've been this is going to take a turn. We've been trying to buy a house, or not. We haven't been trying to buy a house. A girl that works for me has been trying to buy a house, and we've been trying to find her a house. And Ryan and I have been all week back and forth through fucking offers and bullshit. And I think we got a deal on paper last night, didn't we?
Well,
we didn't get a deal on paper, but we finally got an offer on paper. And we're going to see, well, I'm putting this out here now, we're going to see who wins this argument. It's probably going to be Ryan, but my negotiating style and his are completely different. And in the end, we wanted to buy this house for what they were asking, that we wanted them to cover closing costs, and we wanted them to fix the floor. So,
well, now, come on. If you're going to put this out there on blast, we got to be accurate.
There's a bunch of other little shit, but that's all little stupid shit. I wanted them to get the trash. And by the way, I'm helping the girl that works for me negotiate the thing because she needs help.
Yep.
So we're trying to get her home, and I'm just helping her with deal structure, nothing else. But anyway, we wanted them to clean it out. What the fuck else was it?
So we both were in the same spot of where we wanted to end up.
Yeah.
The challenge was we had very vast differences in the approach to get there.
But Ryan says I'm too aggressive.
Well, because I think you think of everything, or at least my experience so far is you kind of look at everything from the standpoint of commercial, your mentality of how you approach of negotiating deals.
Yeah.
And I approach it from the standpoint of taking the information of like what the buyer or seller wants, and then trying to put ourselves in the position to give us the best opportunity to get that. Whereas you're like, oh, I want to go.
Fuck them, cut their knees out from under them.
Yeah, cut their knees out from under them.
Yeah.
And then we're just assuming no emotion will come into play, and then we'll get what we want. And I just.
So
neither one of us is wrong.
Yeah.
It's just different ways to get there.
So in the end, we're going to know in a few days whether or not we. How was it? You said it so eloquently. Whether she's going to move in or move on.
Yes.
Anyway, and this is the name of Ryan's new television show.
That we're starting a production.
Chat GPT Productions is going to write the script for Move In or Move On with Ryan Keaton.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to see what happens there, and we'll keep you updated on that. So, moving on past that, what you got?
So one of the things that I don't know that we have ever really talked about it, that I thought would be interesting, and I'd give you a break from the Andy Griffith
podcast. Give me a break from the fucking hypothetical fucking bull.
Yeah, exactly.
Or is this another? Let's see where this goes. Curveball, yeah.
Now, I was curious. I don't know that we have ever talked about how you came up with the name Inner Geek.
Full disclosure, my ex-wife did.
It was all that was her Jamie. Colors.
I think so. I don't. I mean, we were discussing it amongst ourselves. I think.
But I was curious of what were some of the other options and how you landed on. I mean, because it is cool. It's great.
Yeah.
But I was just curious how
it
the
is
sausage was made.
It is a great
one.
name. We tossed around a lot of names. I can't even remember some of them. It's been so long now. But I believe if I had to legitimately give credit, I'm pretty sure Jamie came up with that one. The colors, were everything in the store is green and blue, but the inspiration for the colors was a picture of a flip-flop that was green and blue, like a fucking sandal or whatever. Yeah. And I thought, well, that'll work. And all that. So everybody knows this about me. I'm a serial entrepreneur. My entire life I've started different things, but I wanted to put that store in the Ashland Town Center Mall. And malls do things very differently. They're very much structured and kind of by the book, and I was used to operating in a very by the seat of the pants environment. And I wanted to rent the building in the mall, and she told me that she would like for me to put my concept on paper, including color schemes and fixtures and what it would look like and all that. And that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because I had to sit down and put pre-thought into all the branding, all the, I was going to use this color fixtures, the carpet was this color. I had to sit down and think about all that. And a lot of times in my life when I was younger, I moved too fast to think about that. Yeah. It was just like, get the fucking key, get in there, throw some shit in there, let's sell it. Yeah. And she made me slow down enough to really massage out an idea on paper. And she even made me, this is the lady at the mall, she even made me go get paint samples and show her colors and things like that. And it was a real pain in the ass to me at the time, because I thought, why are we fucking around with all this when I could be in there building this place out? And we'll know what color it is when I'm done painting. But she made me really think about it. So Jamie and I then sat and kind of hammered all that out. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Jamie did come up with the name and the fact that it should be in a little word balloon like a comic book. And then the actual logo design was done by the sign company, oddly enough. I sent him a little mock-up. I still have it, that I made probably with MS Paint or something like that, of what I wanted. And he made the logo and shit and sent it to me, and I've used it for everything since. He's a great guy, graphic designer guy that works there. And it was, I don't know, I always operated on, like I said, get a key, get some paint, throw some shit in. And it was my first adventure that had any forethought at all. Yeah. And I credit that with the lady's name that was running the mall at the time was Michelle. And oddly enough, full circle moment, Michelle is now the facility manager at Pullman Square, where my store there is. And she's been around every step of my business journey, kind of. About the time I moved out of the mall, she quit, but I was opening a store in Huntington where she went. So it kind of all worked out. And she still comes to me with ideas all the time, and most of them piss me off now. I love her, I do, but most of the time she'll call me and say, hey, why don't you do this? And I'll be like, well, I never fucking thought of that, or that's the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard, or whatever. I never say that to her, but that's what my inner monologue says. Yeah. But every now and then she'll throw something at me that I have a pet store now, probably because of Michelle, because she said, hey, what do you want to do in this building over here? And I said, well, fuck it, we'll do another pet store.
She's like, I got to fill this and make some more money.
Yeah.
It's called Jarrod.
Yeah.
He'll jump without leaping. I bet she didn't require that logo.
No, she lets me do whatever.
Pet store.
Take it. Fuck it. Do it. However, she did pretty much, I think, make my son Jackson has a building there in Pullman, and I think she made him put some real thought into and I'm sure she's helping him some. We talked about this a little bit the other day. I want to buy the fucking shopping center that my store is in Huntington. And I've actually made a few phone calls and things, just talking to people. That's probably a summer project, but I think a lot about, if I bought it, would Michelle stay on or not? So that's a good question. Michelle, if you're a listener of my podcast, decide if you want to work for me or not. You probably don't. You probably absolutely don't.
Still a little bit of fly by the seat.
Yeah, we do some shit like that now. I'm gonna sucker you in on that deal with me. You're gonna.
It intrigues me. That deal intrigues me, depending on how it'd be structured, what it looks like. I think that I did not immediately flush that.
Yeah. It's one of those things, and I do this a lot. It's one of those things that somebody just offhandedly says to me, or I just say it out loud as a joke. But then over the next 24 hours, I won't be able to get it out of my head. Yep. And there was a newspaper article a couple weeks ago that was like, so the city of Huntington is currently a majority owner of the square. They own like 73% of it. And it's all this political hot point in Huntington right now about why the city is in the fucking the property management business or whatever. It's not their thing. So the new mayor doesn't really, I don't think, want the property. So one of the girls that works for me said, you should just buy it. And we laughed.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to Michelle actually on the phone the other day, and I said, so who's going to buy Pullman Square? And she said, well, you should. And I laughed.
Yeah.
And then it's just one of those things I can't get out of my head. But it's a much bigger deal than, most of the deals I do.
Oh, it steps into big boy.
Yeah, it
big
steps
boy
into,
with real ramifications on the other side.
Steps into big boy property management, yeah. Most of the deals I do are the equivalent, you've heard me say this, of buying a lawnmower at the flea market. You just, you're just bickering back and forth over price, and then when you settle on a number, somebody pays the other one, and there you go, you're done.
Yeah. And to the stuff that we've done, the real estate, I mean, the snake thing is a little bit of a risk, and it's a little bit of a unique idea, but it's worst case scenario. There's an exit, there's ways to get out from that. Yeah. But, or one of the buildings, let's say something happens in one of the buildings, it may take 6 months, a year, whatever, but you can get out of it.
Yeah.
Something like a shopping center, that may be a 3 to 5 That's a big one. 3 to 5 year liquidation project.
Yeah. And it's a real convoluted deal too, because the city still owns some of the property aside from or different entities in the city own different pieces of it. It's just it's a very, very weird deal. And I've told the gentleman that owns one of the other shares for years that he has to will me his share of it because I've kept it floating since COVID. And this is funny, but I've said it to him enough times where I feel like I've planted that seed,
Yeah.
But so if I could acquire the city share and then later in life I could acquire one of the other partners' shares, then I could own most of that over time. But I don't know if that's a badge of honor or not. Like, is it, we got a sucker on the hook here, or is it, oh wow,
yeah,
I don't know.
Pullman Square to me is a uniquely positioned property in relation to where it sits within Huntington.
It's definitely the center of town. It's definitely the biggest, best shopping center in Huntington, West Virginia, which is a big fish, small pond situation, it's not really that big of a flex to say I got the nicest piece of property in Huntington, West Virginia, I guess. But, and also the thing that scares me a little bit is I know they're building another big shopping center somewhere up around Marshall is currently in development. And that has they're positioning themselves to become what Pullman Square, the new Pullman Square. Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a deal I could ever get in on, or if I could figure out how to rub two sticks together and make a big enough fire to make it happen.
Yeah.
But
it's interesting that you say.
But it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, because it's. I very much do the same thing. We can talk about it off air at some point but it's funny because there's a few different times I do the same exact thing. So in other words, like something will get mentioned almost kind of like in passing is like, I've been thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, I wonder what that would look like. And then I go home and it's like 4 days later, a rabbit hole, and I get this whole thing. It's like, oh, well, here's how I do it. And I just sit on it because, so I was like, well, I'll just put a lot of time and effort into this theory.
But it keeps my brain occupied a lot of times.
But I love the process of that.
Did I ever tell you how I ended up with the bookstore? Have we ever talked about that?
Yeah, I think we talked to
I can't remember. It's kind of the same way. It's just I was up there looking at another building, and he said, "Let me sell you a bookstore," and I laughed. And then fucking 3 weeks goes by, and I'm like, "Oh, here's the key to your fucking bookstore."
You dropped that little worm.
Yeah. He dangled that shit out there, and I fucking chased it like an idiot.
You're a carrot.
Yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while, the carrot looks real nice, even if it is attached to a string behind you. Yeah. I don't know. It is very fun for me to think about right now. I also noticed that the property down behind Longhorn Steakhouse has been bulldozed, and I noticed it again yesterday. I was at Steak and Shake and looking at it. Do you know, is that for sale, or did somebody buy it and do that work?
For some reason, I'm thinking that I'd have to go back and look, But for some reason in my head, my memory is that somebody's bought it and there's some other type of restaurant.
It was for sale for a long time, and I looked at it, and there's so much work. There was so much work. I thought so much work involved in getting it done, and some bitch in a great big bulldozer got her done in about 2 days, and it's leveled out in a nice pretty lot now. I'm
She's
like,
ready.
well, fuck. Yeah, that was one of those things where I just let the analysis of what could happen fuck me up really bad.
The only challenge that I have with that particular area in that space is the pain in the ass to get in and out of it. It's not easy to get into, and if you're not going to get through traffic really, because even the
it's not as bad now that they have the off ramp on the viaduct.
Yeah,
or viaduct, whatever the fuck.
But it's not super easy to get into if you're coming the opposite direction.
No, it's not.
And to get out of there is kind of a pain. You're going around and you're doing that. So that's always been my issue. I would Steak and Shake or Longhorn. Some of those I'd probably, if they were sitting in a more convenient location, I would probably go to.
You're not wrong, because I've been to Longhorn like once, and I go to Steak and Shake once every 6 months, because I always say such a pain in the ass to get in.
Yeah. Well, same way with like Jimmy John's and those. I mean, there's Jimmy John's.
I wouldn't piss on Jimmy John's.
What was the other? What's the other? There's another sandwich place.
Fazoli's.
No, Fazoli's, but there's another sandwich. But anyway,
Penn Station.
Yeah, Penn Station. I like that, but I mean, it's I'm not. It's going to be one of those that just like fuck. I'm committed to Penn Station. We'll go deal with the mess. Or
I do love Penn Station, but fuck. Let me say this publicly right now. Fuck Jimmy John's right in the ass. They don't have a microwave in the place. They sell you every sandwich they sell is cold. That pisses me off.
I like cold sandwiches.
Well, I'll eat a bologna sandwich cold or something like that on white bread, but I don't want a fucking sub that's cold.
I'm only eating cold subs.
It just pisses me completely off.
Yeah.
God, I hate them motherfuckers with everything I got.
It's a strong stance because they won't make you a hot sandwich.
There aren't many restaurants that I categorically just fucking say no to, but Jimmy John's is one of them. I think it's because I had a meeting one time in Lexington with the convention center, and they said, we'll get lunch. And I said, oh, okay. They said, don't eat. Come hungry. We're going to get lunch. Well, they bought a bunch of fucking Jimmy John's subs, and I tried about 6 different ones, and they all sucked. And
it's probably one of my favorite sandwich places. But I like cold sandwiches. So
I do definitely love Penn Station, but fuck Jimmy John's. There you go.
All right.
Nationally, I'm going to get started Twitter beef with Jimmy John's.
Yeah, they're not sponsoring us.
Nope.
Or the con.
Nope.
But you're okay with that.
I am. I ain't taking their money. I take their money. I take their money. I'll say nice things about you for sponsorship money, Jimmy John's. I will.
There we go. And everybody besides me and my family will eat it.
Yep.
My team.
Yeah. I'll feed mine to the dog. Or I'll buy you a microwave with your sponsorship money.
That looks like a good place to drop it right there.
No, for real. I'm not done with this. I guess it can be. Are there any restaurants that you just categorically will not eat at? If I said, Ryan, I'm going to take you out to dinner, but we're going to insert here, would you say, fuck that, I ain't going?
If we're going to actually physically go in?
It doesn't matter.
It's probably, I'm probably not going to do Texas Roadhouse if I can avoid it.
Is it the atmosphere?
It is just the weight and the pain in the ass. Yeah. Once again, to get in and out of there is a pain in the ass. The food is pretty good. It's not so it's not a knock on the food. It's not a knock on how you get treated once you're there. It's just I think it's overrated.
Yeah. I will say that for my dollar per dollar, I think Texas Roadhouse has the best steak in Ashland, Kentucky, which isn't saying much. It isn't. But I barely go there because it is so fucking loud in that place.
Yeah. I
can't hear to have a conversation with somebody. I might go there for lunch by myself or something.
I went there for a business lunch, and it was bad. But, we were all talking like this, literally sitting as close as you and I are.
Yeah. I don't care for their steaks, but if I'm going somewhere with like a group of people to eat and want a steak, it's probably Outback.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Texas Roadhouse is the hill you're dying on.
But like I said, I was just there for a lunch a couple days ago or last week, but I am not like, if you're like, hey, Ron, everybody's going to meet up. We're going over to Texas Roadhouse and it's going to be at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon or evening. I'm going to be going. The only thought in my head is, how much do I want to hang out with him right now? Yeah. Am I willing to put up with the shit that I don't like?
It's one of those things where you're saying, I'll try to make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some shit came up.
Because normally I'm having to go there because that is like probably 90% of other families in this area. Is like, if my family's going to go eat, everybody wants to go there because I got the bread and the butter.
Bread,
It's all bread and butter. Nobody says anything about the food. I love their bread.
Yep, gotta have the bread. Gotta have them fucking rolls, man.
Yeah, and I hate it every time. I'm like, okay.
I am extremely polarized by restaurants. I either fucking love them and will eat there every day, or fuck them.
You're dead to me.
Or you're dead to me. I got a real craving. I'm going to give them a plug here. I'm not even going to charge them for this. I got a real craving for crisps the other day. And if you grew up in Eastern Kentucky or around the Ashland area, Crisps is like a staple hot dog place here. I think we've talked about them before.
The footlongs, man.
But man, I want fucking Crisps so bad right now. I can't stand it, but I'm too lazy to drive out there.
And you can't DoorDash?
They don't DoorDash. Sons of bitches. Here's your free...
Yeah, because they closed the one in Flatwoods, didn't they?
Yep. Free tip for the day, people who own Crisps. Get on DoorDash. It'll change your life.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, even when you go out to Crisp, and like I said, I'm the same way. It's just their foot-long hot dog, and, there's a...
Nothing says home to me like Crisp.
German chocolate.
Yep.
A German chocolate, like their version of like a Blizzard. So I am with you, but that is also one of those, too. You got to go out there, and, it's an old-school walk-up order kind of thing. So you park, you walk up, you order, you go back and you sit in your car and you wait for for them to flag you down for your food.
Yep.
And not the quickest.
No, definitely not the quickest, but gosh, like I said, nothing.
They're reasonable considering they are fixing the food when you're there. So I mean, just if you're thinking fast food, this isn't going to be.
I wonder if they don't DoorDash because hot dogs don't travel well.
Well, they have other things besides that. I think it's probably just because that is a family-owned business from my understanding that's passed down generation to generation to generation.
Yep. I think it's third generation or something.
Yeah. Like that. So I think it's just a fundamental, this is how we operate. This is what we do. We're not going to turn into that. Because I think they do pride themselves on the quality. To give listeners, if you don't know, to give you a little sense, it's very much really good carny food. Yeah, is what they're doing out there.
What we call dairy food here.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah, you just kind of walk up, you get a good. It's going to be mostly fried or something to that effect. But and you're right, that doesn't travel that well. And the quality of food you're going to get out there, and I would say it's probably just, do we want to open ourselves up to diminishing the quality to try to get more product out of here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd still buy it.
Yeah. I'd take a chance on it.
I'd still DoorDash the shit.
Yep.
How many times have you used DoorDash? I know you told me the other day that you found that you could get booze via DoorDash.
Yep.
How many times have you used it now? Are you finding yourself using it more and more or less and less?
Less and less.
Oh, I see.
There's been a couple, so,
Try to teach you things.
There's a couple. Last night, we got back from, we went to Charlotte for my granddaughter's birthday. And then we got back last night, and we're just tired, and we kind of fixed something little quick thing to eat. And then about 9:30, 10 o'clock, I was like, kind of need something else. And then I was like, I ended up not doing it once again because my bedroom is in the basement and the living room and all that kind of stuff. And it was about 10 o'clock, and we were kind of laying down and doing stuff, and I was like a little hungry, and I was like, I'd have to walk upstairs to whenever they drop it off. So I ended up not ordering it. So, again, that's one of those things, too, where I play in my head because, for one, whatever I'd have ordered wouldn't have probably been the best thing to eat at 10 o'clock at night right before you're going to bed.
Anything is good at 10 o'clock as long as you're okay with the sugars and the triglycerides.
Yeah, exactly. If you're willing to get those reports later.
Yeah, hold on just a second. I want to tell you what. Last night, I don't remember what time, but I think it was around 10:30. I was trying to see. But then I tell myself they probably close. Oh, here we go. Orders. What time was it? Doesn't even fucking tell me. Anyway, I think around somewhere between 9:30 and 10:30 last night, I DoorDashed the Lord's chicken. And it was the best DoorDash chicken sandwich I've had in a long damn time. And it still amazes me that Chick-fil-A can pull off everything they pull off and still get shit here and it be hot and all that. Like, they don't fail. They really do have some higher power on their side, I think, because
I guess that's
never
if
get
you like
bad,
Chick-fil-A.
I guess I never get bad food through the drive-thru. It's never wrong. It's even though the line is out the fucking parking lot, it's fast, and they get it here on time and right every time.
Yeah.
So I assume you don't like Chick-fil-A. We're going to pick a fight with the Lord now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Chick-fil-A. To me, it is okay. It's not bad food. I mean, I've never gotten anything there that I'm like, oh, this is just awful. It's just like, okay, that's all right.
So this is a dumb thing.
Can I ask one other question?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Before you move on to the dumb thing?
Yeah.
One thing that baffles the shit out of my head that I can't wrap my head around is, there's a million chicken places.
Yeah.
Million of them. We have 12 knockoff chicken places in Ashland here, that are Chick-fil-A or
Slim
it's like
Chickens.
Slim Chickens or the Chicken Shack.
Yeah.
What I can't wrap my head around is when in the fuck did chicken get so expensive?
Oh my God.
Because chicken restaurants are probably one of the highest priced per meal restaurants, in my opinion, of a fast food variety or even of an elevated fast food variety, which is what I'd put them in. They're not a McDonald's.
Have you seen the price of eggs?
Well, yeah.
I mean, chicken's expensive.
Yeah. But I mean, even before all that, I mean, they've always been on the higher end, and I guess I wonder why that's the case. Why is chicken such a high-priced, fast-ish food?
I guess I just don't have the answer to that. Although there's a chicken restaurant above my bookstore that I think does in the neighborhood of $1 million in sales a month.
Yep,
it's crazy.
Chicken is clever as shit because chicken got itself positioned as a healthier protein. Yep. But the way that it is served in these fast food capacities in these restaurants has got no redeeming quality, or very little redeeming quality as a protein. But people will still eat it, even in their variations, because it's a healthier protein.
Here, back to Chick-fil-A. Here's a fucked up thing.
Yep.
When I was in college, there was a Chick-fil-A in the basement of Alumni Tower. You remember?
Yep.
Okay. It was a piece of chicken on a fucking bun with a pickle.
With one pickle.
One pickle. They even had, when we were in college, there was a big marketing campaign, the story of the lone pickle. And it was that one piece of pickle was the exact right amount for a chicken sandwich, and that they had done all this taste testing and pickle.
I got a theory on why that's the case.
Well, hold on now.
Yeah.
You could always order extra pickles if you wanted.
They weren't going to fight you.
Yeah. Upcharge.
Yeah.
Today, if you go order a chicken sandwich, there'll be 6 fucking pickles on it. They cover the fucking bottom of them in pickle.
Oh, do they really?
And I'm like, who in an office made the conscious decision to triple the pickle bill? Like, you had a great gimmick to save pickles or to save money on pickles. I don't know what your takeaway from that. Were you just going to say it's cheap to put one pickle?
No, because
that's what I think it was.
Yeah, because in my head, and like I said, I don't eat Chick-fil-A very often, but it's a once every 3 or 4 months. Somehow, some way, somebody wants Chick-fil-A, and you're like, well, fuck, I guess I'm eating Chick-fil-A. But I only remember the one chicken, so if you just get the one pickle. But the thing that always drove me nuts was that the way that it's either put on there, the way they pull it out, the whole fucking bun is like saturated with pickle juice. So every bite you take, even if you take the pickle off, tastes like
Well,
it's got pickle
I
on it.
order mine without pickles, or I take them off, which is why I've noticed how many fucking pickles were on the the sandwiches. But literally, you don't see that very often. Like, they had a great gimmick to cost themselves 1 penny per chicken sandwich or something. But when you scale going from 1 pickle to 4 nationally,
You've tripled your
what the
your
fuck
pickle.
does that do to their pickle bill? You know? And I also love that when you're talking about fast food, you have to think about the pickle bill, the onion bill, like. The whole philosophy in some of the fast food stuff is that they can fine tune each ingredient scaled nationally to, you know, you think about McDonald's made the conscious effort one time not to put ketchup packets out where you could just grab them.
Yep.
Because then they can control that they give you 1 per 6-piece nugget or whatever.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker probably saved that company $1 billion a year by saying, let's just not put the ketchup out on the counter.
Yeah. Oh, and then the dehydrated onions. You know, the stuff like that.
Like, those little things amaze me when you take up business, any kind of business, and scale it nationally. That such little things like that can make such a difference. And I think that's why a lot of mom and pop restaurants pop up, and they get all this good public outcry of, oh my God, if you went there, the fucking sandwiches are huge, and they've got, you know, all the fucking good tomatoes and all this shit, and the food is so good. And then they inevitably go out of business because they can't do portion control.
Yeah.
Or because they're not good at portion control. Or they thought that portion control wasn't important.
Or they underestimated, they're like, oh, this, you know, all they factor in is the
fucking
main
beef patty.
And they're like, well, shit, you know, I can make this for $1.25 and I sell it for $4. Well, I'm tripling my money. And what they forgot is the, you know, the nickeling and diming and
yeah.
the
restaurant business amazes me, but I don't think I would ever want to really be in it.
Yeah.
People that are good at restaurants are good at restaurants, and I think I'm not one of those people. But it does fascinate me, the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I just like getting in the weeds on fine-tuning costs and things like that. But anyway, all right, you got anything else?
I'm good. And just like that, another episode of Two Guys, Two Questions is in the books.
We laughed, we learned. Well, we mostly just laughed.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, congratulations. You now have random knowledge you never asked for.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. Or don't, but just know if you don't, we're bringing back the squeaky toys.
Oh, it's coming back either way.
Until next time, same two guys, two questions, and absolutely no idea what we're doing.
Perfect.